listen to the people's concerns and their priorities.
Those were your 6 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at the top of the hour right here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network.
Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
Good Wednesday morning, running into your brand new day. Today, Wednesday, the 6th of August, 2025. Yes, indeed. We are already in August, and before you blink twice, August is done. We welcome September, and I guess the second week into September will be the start of the new school year. It's going to be lots of pace as we go towards the end of this calendar 2025. Jason Williams, I'm signing on. I'm here with the team. We go until 8, and it's an action-packed program, everything from analyzing the first 100 days of the new administration. We will have a Polllster coming in to give some perspective. We hear from iGov, of course, the Ministry of Public Admin and AI, with their amazing digital rollout. I think Anansi, I saw the platform on the news last evening, so we will get some details there. And inside the second hour, Tobago talks, and when Tobago talk, we listen. And we take the conversation straight down until 8 a.m. But let's see what's happening via The Guardian. And I saw this on the news. This was one of the leading stories last evening. And if you want more details, you can get your copy of your Guardian. Page 5 gives you the full scoop. And as the headline suggests this morning, lifeline for Jack. That's Jack Warner, who's pictured there. The original JW. First time I interviewed Jack Warner years ago. I introduced myself, JW here speaking to Jack Warner. He said, let me tell you something. I am the original. And I said, well, I can't even question that because he is Jack Warner, the original. But nonetheless, this particular development says, at least via the AG's office, key documents in the U.S. extradition case are missing. And they're going to launch a probe. And because of that, well, I would imagine whatever hearing that yesterday went on pause. There was supposed to be some hearing there yesterday. Again, all the details here on page 5. And there is a statement also from Austin Jack Warner. He feels vindicated. So again, as the story suggests here, lifeline for Jack Warner in this particular matter. And again, key document missing, And, you're getting a perspective here from at least seeing all the major players involved in the case, Justice Karen Reed, British Attorney Robert Strang, the AG's perspective, and again, that story on page 5. Another development here in The Guardian, former Prime Minister Rowley wins land dispute before the Privy Council. That story also develops on page 4. And a story that grabbed my attention, it's on page 8. A female officer attached to the TTPS was beaten during a domestic quarrel in front of a youngster, a 1-year-old. Apparently, she told her partner to leave. He refused. He proceeded to treat with her in a way that is obviously disrespectful. It's unjust. And he fled. And now he's on the run. And her colleagues, well, are not probably the people that she's attached to in terms of the station, but I would imagine all police will look out for each other. So he will have to answer some serious questions in that regard. And again, here's a call for when things get sometimes heated for both men and women. It's best you just sometimes just take a walk, take a chill pill, leave the premises, because, when you have that back and forth and the dynamic, we've all been there. We've all been sometimes in a heated argument or a situation. It's best before you end up causing any trouble or problems or sinning your soul, best you walk away. And it's quite unfortunate. At least she lives to tell the story, and we give thanks for that. But, this is a whole policewoman. The story here, a female officer was beaten and struck in the head, face, and upper body, with a cell phone. during an argument with a male relative. Now, as the story suggests here on page 8, the victim told officers the suspect, who later fled, had refused to leave, following which he attacked her. And again, as mentioned, police were yesterday and up to probably all now searching for the suspect. That story here on page 8. And staying with the TTPS, the top cop says, that's Commissioner Polllster Guevara, killings down, although SOE not aimed at homicides. Now, the thing is, I know they look at the numbers and they, if there is a decline by, let's say, 4 murders compared to last year, they will always suggest and speak to this trend, this downward trend. But the reality is many of the citizens still feel uneasy. We're seeing brazen daylight shootings, all right? It's still something that is commonplace. So until we get the murder rate to where we see probably a single digit, yeah? And I mean, that obviously is wishful thinking at this current point in time with the amount of illegal firearms and the kind of narcotics and the underbelly drugs network that's very much alive and well in the country. It will take a total revolution or overhaul to bring it down to that bare minimum. But I guess, they will always celebrate the small victories. But I want for the citizenry, myself, my colleagues here at work, my family, for people to feel easy, for you to not have to be nervous when you make your movements. And until we get there, I'm not going to be jumping up with any kind of stats where just a few less compared to last year. All right, I'm watching a development there with the CPAP. I saw it in Diego Martin and other areas too, basically going through well, I don't want to say a tough time, but they're going through something that I've not seen probably since the days of COVID, because I recall when COVID was happening and everybody had to stay inside. Bush overrun, the savannah, I remember, was in a total shambles. And we're seeing where some communities, it's taking a toll with the no CPAP work that's happening. So in Diego Martin on the highway, grass all over the place. You're seeing, obviously, I don't know if probably the community will have to take it into their own hands at this point in time. I don't know what people would do to solve some of the issues, but a lot of areas where CPAP would have maintained, obviously, because they're not on the job, it's nature, it's grass, it's going to grow, and it's only going to get, it might only get worse. So I guess this is, again, a call. I don't know if communities will probably hire a wakaman. I don't know how they're going to work it out, but clearly what I'm seeing here on page 7 is a cause for concern. And even more so, we head to the Southland, where a lady would have put forward a letter to the HDC. As a matter of fact, they responded. They said they're going to look into the matter. So next to her lot, right next door, is tall razor grass. She says guana, manikou, snake, rat, the works living inside this bushy area. And it's also a hazard. It's not easy to come home to an empty lot, high woods next to you. Anybody could jump out of the bush and attack you. So this lady, she's a retiree. Her name is Cheryl Clark Williams. I'm happy she was able to bring this particular plight to us. We highlighted this on the news last evening. It's in the papers today. And hopefully HTC, when they do their due diligence, if that land next to her belongs to them, they'll have to maintain it. Because she's been maintaining it, and she says she can't continue on her retirement money, her pension money. So let's sort it out, all right? We head to the back page. Touch of sports, and there's a serious call. Time to save West Indies. Sir Lloyd and others wearing in. Sir Clive Lloyd, well, a tremendous leader, as mentioned here by the Prime Minister of St. Vincent. Many are lending their voice to that chorus right now, where we really want the current team to understand that they're standing on the shoulders of giants. People who in a time would have gone through so much, and they went out there and literally bled to bring a certain pride and a strength to the region. And we're talking about the likes of the Lloyds and the Walcotts and the 3Ws and the Viv and the Dujon and all these great names that still echoes in the corridor of West Indies cricket. We find ourselves now, not to say we don't have the talent and we don't have the capacity, but I don't know if it's the mental fortitude. I don't know if it's not there, because to outdown a professional team in cricket, to outdown for 27 runs, that is beyond embarrassing. That is a shambles. That's a primary school score. And I'm thinking here we can't get no lower than this. This is probably the rock bottom for us within the recent history of the team, and it can only be uphill from here, and I hope that everyone is on the same page. I'll continue, as I continue to say, I will always support my West Indies. I can't support nobody else, right? That's my team. But at the same time, there needs to be, I guess, all hands on deck and a certain pride. It's not about money anymore. To me, it's when you put on a maroon shirt, you're representing the hopes and aspiration of an entire region. All right, it says, what, 44 million of us? Granted, not all 44 million involved in the cricket, because places like Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, these places more on baseball now. Well, I'm not too sure what Haiti on in terms of their sporting product. That country is a whole different conversation, but I know DR for sure, Cuba, massive populations there, and they're on baseball. So we have nobody who will represent cricket from those territories, but from as far north as Jamaica, to as far south as Guyana, and everybody in between. Come on, man. We must be able to pool the very best and put them on the pitch to represent us, man. We can't have this. So again, hopefully it's uphill from here. And while saying that, let me make mention of the young boys, the young, well, I don't even know what to call the national team anymore, the under-15 national team. They're out there playing a tournament, qualifiers, and they had a nice victory yesterday against, I believe it was Antigua and Barbuda, 2-0. So kudos to the youngsters, and we wish them the best as they continue to make us proud in this particular tournament. Let's move on now to the brief on this Wednesday morning. Wednesday, as mentioned, the 6th of August, 2025. Getting ready for school. Look at the smile now. Candace Samuel checks the fit of her daughter. That's young Kalicia Rennie. And she's just checking out the new school blouse at the Bradford Trading, Henry Street, Port of Spain there. Rennie is now a student of East Mokorapo Secondary School. And all the best to you, Kalicia. Love the smile, mommy. Well done. You're there with her, just making sure the fit is correct. You know, we all remember those days. Your new uniform, back then, you know, lunch kit. I don't think children really move with lunch kits anymore, but nonetheless, to the new students stepping in to the new academic year in a couple of weeks, we wish you the very best. Also, the city starts the process to remove the Columbus statue. People like Faizo and others question this call, but Faizo, I want you to remember, and all those who might question this, as we live in an age of information, of transparency, we are told and we understand now that some of these symbols and the people that they put up on this particular pedestal when we were growing up, when you get to understand their real story and their acts of genocide, yeah, you know, that's what they did. In this modern time, people not having it. And we have to, you know, recognize, yes, it was part of our history. But the museum, that's where you put history, you put, you know, historical artifacts there. You tell the truth too. Wherever you put in the statue, put a nice little write-up and let people understand this is Columbus and this is what he did. But as it pertains to, you know, symbols that should be erected in on our soil, I think it should be more Trinbago-centric. You know, we have enough heroes, we have enough who would have represented us on the academic stage, in culture, in sport. All I ask is that whoever we put up, we get the statue correct. Because for some reason, over the years, I've questioned the integrity and how some of our statues look. To me, the best statues is Sundar Popo down in Debe, because that looks like Sundar. Daisy Voze and Saparia, because that looks like Daisy. Lara's my boy, we love Lara, but that who they put up there close to the southern end of the promenade, I don't know who that is. Right, is a Lara position, right, is a Lara shot, but the face. And then the one by Hilton that is supposed to be Sparrow, I don't know if I'm thinking out loud or if my eyes need to be checked, but I find it does look like Calypso Rose, the face. I just say it, right? So well, Kitchener, they get Kitchener correct, but still Kitchener foot up in the air kind of way. I just find like we need to work on our statues and really sort out, you know, really get a mold and fine tune it and probably let the person or the family, don't just reveal it and then the family, it already erected and you, little mumbles in the background. No, let people approve it first. Just had to put that out there. But nonetheless, we are in the process. They're going to remove Columbus, put him in the museum. And again, it's part of a bigger movement to bring about much, I would say, needed change. Yeah? Let's take the pause. We come back and we get into the first 100 days in office. Of course, under the new administration, under the UNC government. Mwale Henry, behavioral pollster, will join me to get into that discussion.
Move from CXC to your business management degree in just over 2 years with the globally and ACTT recognized ABE qualification at CTS College. Students with limited CSEC passes or mature candidates with work experience can enroll. Each level can be completed in under 6 months, with a diploma awarded upon completion of each level and a bachelor's degree awarded at the end of the entire program. Contact CTS College today and ask about our flexible payment terms.
Built to Last has a massive sale on roofing materials, including standing seam. Invest in durable roofing sheets at unbeatable prices. Choose our supply and installation package and enjoy huge savings on your roof. Quality materials, quality prices, quality workmanship. Our name says it all. Built to Last, for roofing that is built to last. We will not be beaten on price. Enjoy free delivery and free roll forming on standing seam and guttering on site. Call us now, 355-7703.
Big ambition starts with clear vision. This back to learning season, Herrera Optical has eyewear packages for every learner. For kids 15 years and under, get a free frame with lenses starting at just $495. Scholars, it's time to level up your look with frame plus lenses from $750. Lifelong learners, purchase any frame $1,099 plus and unlock up to 30% off premium lenses like Eisen, Varilux, and Transitions in 8 bold colors. And don't miss your chance to win a $1,500 learning supply voucher or transition lenses when you purchase any eyewear package. Herrera Optical, big ambition, clear vision. Visit us in store today. This promotion is NOCB approved.
For 40 years, we've moved with you, pushed with you, transformed with you. From the first rep to your best step, from your first class to your biggest win, Fitness Center has been your partner in power. Built on sweat, driven by passion. 4 decades in, and we're just getting started. Celebrate 40 years with us. Fitness Center, 40 years strong. Transform your body, transform your life.
Behavioral pollster Mwale Henry joins me on the Zoom line to unpack the first 100 days of the UNC administration, taking over the reins for, of course, April 28th, a very important day, and the country spoke in an overwhelming manner, gave UNC the mandate to go forward. Of course, their mantra during the campaign was when UNC wins, everybody wins. So let's start with that. Start with the wins. See what so far they have been able to maintain via their campaign promise, and then we'll dissect all the other developments. So, Mwale, great to see you. Welcome.
Good morning to you, Jason, and good morning to your viewers. Thanks so much for having me.
In the first 100 days, campaign promises kept. Let's start with that. So far, what stands out from your observation?
Well, from a political standpoint, when you talk about 100 days, you're talking about momentum. This is where all political parties coming into office has that type of momentum. It's about first impression, spending your political capital at the highest point and building up credibility. So from a quote-unquote executive position in terms of cabinet decision-making, this administration went off the races in terms of adopting its policy, its mini manifestos into government policies. So they are staying the course what they campaign on. But to your question about what has been accomplished thus far within 100 days, we must consider that this administration is coming in at a unique time before a budget period. So a lot of the adoption in terms of fiscal policy, they would be adopting much of the past administration fiscal policies. So in terms of real sense of fundamental changes, you will see that coming closer into the new fiscal term, where obviously spending priorities tells you what would be the strategy. So some of the short wins, they have promised, stand your ground legislation. They are moving forward in terms of the consultation process. They have talked about being tough on crime. We see we are in an SOE. That in itself has a mixed bag, but we see that the Honorable Prime Minister is unafraid to make certain decisions as it comes to declaring a state of emergency. There has been some movements in the agricultural sector in terms of not just the investment, but the focus. But by and large, we have to be fair and more importantly, realistic, because we are in an environment of depressed revenues, an environment of a lot of uncertainties in the international arena. So it is a mixed bag. And I think a lot of the policy perspective that this administration wants to implement, there's going to be a reality check, and I predict some pivoting in terms of their ability to deliver on what they promised.
In terms of at least so far, calling out the last administration on, I guess, perceived mismanagement, speaking to some of the financial woes, is that the usual political culture and momentum when a new administration steps into office?
It's normal, it's definitely normal. However, what's a bit different in this administration, you have a prime minister who's experienced. So this is not her first rodeo. More importantly, you have a prime minister who took a political strategy of not doing a partnership in its former form, but more of amalgamation and accommodation, which gives her maximum political control. So from a society's perspective, it is very clear that the Honorable Prime Minister has maximum control with this new configuration. Therefore, the blame game, that ramp will be very short. That's number one. And then number two, when you consider the economic urgency in terms of jobs, in terms of manufacturing, in terms of what's happening in the geopolitical space, this administration will have a short ramp to deliver because urgency requires of it, employment requires of it. And as you said in your earlier opening, this administration is given what we will call good faith. So in the political space, the mandate has a caveat, and that caveat is the opposing political party, its base did not translate into this current administration, but they stayed home. So there is going to be a large swath and segment of this population will be doing what is called watch and see what will be implemented. So this blame game process will be a short-lived honeymoon.
I'm watching the restructuring of CPEP, URP, also the 10% that was promised. Obviously, I guess economists, many are suggesting the current financial climate might not really be able to accommodate such a request and such a number. What's your perspective in that regard? Is that more or less going to be a sour point, or a sore point, as it were, as the administration, they go beyond this 100 days?
Well, I would say this. Whenever you hear politicians waxing biblical or calling on God, I always say there are two reasons. One, it's election season, and two, water more than flour. And when we hear the Honorable Prime Minister on the steps of our Parliament indicating, with God's help, we're looking for the money, that indicates to me that we are in a financial crunch. And as the local balance is, water more than flour. So that will be one of the things that this administration will have to navigate when we use the term find the money. You're talking about borrowings. And, when we look at our debt to GDP ratio, it's climbing upwards of, 64, 65%. engaging in additional borrowings, you have to ask yourself the question, and the economists are asking that question, where will we find the money to fund these types of political promises? And these types of fiscal policies requires cash. You know, as we say, it takes cash to care. And when you see some of the changes to your first question, when you see some of the changes, policy changes, I don't see, you know, whilst there may be changes in some make-to-work programs, transitional programs like CBEP, like URP, the truth is, very soon, Marlon, you know, Jason, you would see, one, these same projects will be handed to new contractors, and two, some of these same persons who are hired, they will also be employed. Because these types of make-to-work program has a deleterious effect, as we call, on the grassroots.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a political football, and we understand that fully well.
It is.
But I obviously consider those who are impacted right now and what will be their pivot. We understand it's a 6-month wait until the board sorts out the audit. Let me ask, as it pertains to personalities other than the Prime Minister, any standouts thus far in the first 100 days? Anyone from your observations asserting themselves or positioning themselves probably to be considered for some kind of role, more senior role in the months and years to come?
Well, that personality question would be an interesting one. I think that will be clarified when the Prime Minister takes her first trip, a foreign trip, and who acts as Prime Minister sits in that seat. It will definitely clarify who is that person has found confidence in the Prime Minister. But in terms of, if you look at responsibilities, you would see there is a circulation within the office of the Prime Minister, and those who are strategically placed in the office of the Prime Minister already have the confidence of the Prime Minister to support and to supervise and to push the agenda forward. And obviously you would have seen the Honorable Minister Polllster, who has both the portfolio as the Minister of Public Utilities, and he is positioned within the office of the Prime Minister. So who knows, you know, it's early days. He may be one of those persons who would have the opportunity to deputize for the Honorable Prime Minister. But apart from that, Jason, the real question is delivery. And of all the ministries, I think one of the key components that people are looking forward to is to see who delivers, not just fast on their campaign promises, but bring what we call a change in the quality of life of its citizens. And that's yet to be seen.
Well, in all fairness, I've seen many MP a little more on the ground. At least in the first 100 days, we have seen people, you know, taking the time to connect with the constituents. So we hope that could continue. I want to ask you, though, when we consider independent Senator Timal, who will be laid to rest today, and may he rest in peace, eternal peace, we saw this sparring with other members of the independent bench and members of government, even opposition, lending their voice. From your observation, far removed, looking at that development, you know, the whole I guess the questions being asked about our independent senators, is it a fair argument at this point in time? Because this happened within the first 100 days.
Yeah, well, it is an unfair argument, and I'll tell you why. You know, you would ask yourself the question, why would a government that has, you know, a handsome majority in comparison to the last administration frontally take on the independent benches? For me, I think it's a wasting of political capital, because within your first 100 days, you want to move into momentum and to have clear focus on your policy strategy. So for me, it's an unforced error and will create a lot of distractions. And now having, you know, this independent senator, you know, who has passed, has made a lot of national contribution, it now creates a distraction from the mere fact why we have an independent bench, because, you know, the ilk of independent senators and their contribution towards government policy, towards legislation moving through its chambers, you remove why we have different types of personalities in the independent bench with specific expertise, and now we see the legacy and his national contribution has not been the focus, but now we are hearing the pain of the attack, the political attack on the independent benches, and that for me is quite unfortunate.
The dismissals we would have seen, is that all part of the political dance and culture? I mean, from the last administration when they took over from the current one, so we're talking the P&M transition from the UNC around 2015, did we see the same kind of clearing out of the public utilities, all the different institutions? We saw the TSTT CEO had to step aside, WASA, all the boards on the energy sector, people were just sending in resignations, and who didn't resign would have been dismissed. What's been the, when you look at the historical records, what's been the particular momentum in that regard in the first 100 days when there's a change of administration?
You know, if you look at it historically, I was talking with a colleague, and I believe if you just look at the records, there has been a fundamental rough transition in terms of state sector boards and a change in administration historically, and I'll tell you why. Because the P&M, from its perspective, would have had, a long-term endurance in terms of its administration within the political history of Trinidad and Tobago. And then you would have different iterations, not just of the UNC, but those opposed to the P&M coming into administration. So from a trust factor, Jason, whenever a new administration that is not a P&M administration, there is an urgency to exercise maximum executive authority and create a new slate or a tabula rasa. There isn't a comfort level to have any elements of the past administration there. So if you...
I was gonna just ask, what about the deep state? Because I've always heard that even though there might be a clearance at the top, there are certain key folks who are positioned very quietly, and they make up what is described as a deep state within the state who will report on any improprieties or wrongdoing.
Well, in our structure, the deep state could only be our public servants, right? From that perspective. We don't have that layer tiered. So I was about to give an example. So for instance, you would have had persons under the last administrations who were part of the UNC before, served in different boards, served in different capacity. So the last prime minister would have had a different comfort level of having persons serve in key executive positions, whilst they might have had former political allegiance opposed to the People's National Movement. But when you look at the campaign of the UNC has promised a sea change, and that sea change requires from their minds a political strategy of unplugging any elements of the People's National Movement and ushering radical changes to the economy. So you would see those changes taking place from the central bank, having fiscal control from that perspective, radical changes with regards to when you look at national security. So there is a political thought and teaching amongst the UNC, not just in its campaign, but in its strategy, to unplug whatever emblems or semblance of the People's National Movement and to radically put in persons who are going to implement and to supervise its policy. So yes, to your point, it has been a rough transition. You would have seen some, toing and froing from different state boards, from the Polllster board to TSCT, etc. One would hope that the understanding of state boards having that type of what we call state trust would allow persons to transition out. That was not seen here. You would have seen hounding down of persons getting out. So now, to your point, one would hope there will be a fast and quick appointment, but that has not been seen. There are many boards that have not been populated, and the administration is definitely required to get on with the job. The mandate is there, and the population is ready to see what is going to be implemented.
Mr. Henry, in the 15 seconds that remain, how would you give the first 100 days a grade in terms of a grade?
But in terms of a grade 15 seconds, I would say a passing grade. And when I use the term a passing grade, is just barely a B. And I'll tell you why. From the economy, there's a lot to be done. There's a lot of outstanding issues. The government has not clarified where it's going to be getting its revenue from to fund many of its promises. Secondly, I would say there is a failing grade when it comes to low-hanging fruits. There are a lot of things that the past administration would have put into place, a lot of implementation projects in the agriculture sector for a lot of young persons, and that in itself is left in abeyance. I think it's not good, proper state management to leave young people in abeyance, no clarity in terms of moving forward. So I would hope that moving forward, where this administration is going through this consultation, which I give them an A grade for going through the consultation on a lot of the security measures, that is something I would hope continues moving into the implementation of its fiscal policies come budget 2025, 2026.
Sincere thanks, Mwale. All the best. We'll touch base soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Jason.
That's right. What definitely gets a passing grade through my lens is what I'm seeing happening with iGovTT. We're going to get some details from them after the break. Definitely, it's a big push for a digital Trinidad and Tobago and public service. So we're going to get some details concerning the National AI Digital Assistant, I think Anansi, from what I saw in the news last evening. That's the name. So let's get some details. It's up next.
Same great cricks that's in all your shops. Shop, all your shops. Fresh new look, delicious to see. It looks so good, it's delicious to see. With toppings on top of time, I'm real hungry.
Yeah, boy, real hungry.
Cricks, new pack is a hit. Best food, yes, I know sick. Ready for the short thing to fix your mix? Just reach for the new pack. Reach for your cricks. Get your cricks today. New look, same vital supplies.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley. Loving the flavors you get with Tetley.
Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Dark, strong British blend to give you a good morning boost. Or Tetley decaf, all of the antioxidants, none of the caffeine. Losing weight or staying healthy your thing? Try Tetley green tea. Get the vitamins to boost your health with Tetley super teas. Or calm down with Tetley chamomile. Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Tetley, a tea for everyone.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley, a tea for everyone. Tetley tea.
Distributed by AMCO, a subsidiary of Ansa McCall.
Welcome to Roystonia Muse. If you're in the market for a chic living space or investment property, our units at Roystonia Muse can fit your needs. These properties are sleek, well-engineered and beautifully constructed with a layout that offers lots of space and natural light. With 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths and over 1,700 square foot of living space, units start at just $1.85 million. Take this step to acquiring your piece of this beautiful community. Let us welcome you to your forever home.
Eye care tips for Seaview Optical. Eat well. Good eye health starts with the food on your plate. Nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, lutein, zinc, and vitamin C and E might help ward off age-related vision problems. Quit smoking. Makes you more likely to get cataracts, damage to your optic nerve, and macular degeneration. If you have tried to kick the habit before only to start again, keep at it. Wear sunglasses. The right pair of shades will help protect your eyes from the sun's ultraviolet UV rays. Use safety eyewear. If you use hazardous or airborne materials on the job or at home, wear safety glasses or protective goggles.
Get the best and affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Ask the Doctor's new season is here as Dr. Joel Tilak Singh covers a range of topics and, most importantly, answers all your medical questions.
Join us on Ask the Doctor live on CNC3 on Thursdays at a new time of 8:30 p.m. with a rerun on Fridays at 11 a.m.
You know, I spoke to the minister when I was at Canto a couple weeks ago in Bahamas, and he did mention this big rollout. So when I saw it on the news last evening, I said to myself, okay, things are happening, and this is under the Public Administration and AI Ministry. We welcome from iGovTT. They are part of the AI branch of the ministry. They are going to do, or at least yesterday had the rollout. I think it's live already. It's the National AI Digital Assistant. With us, the Deputy CEO of iGovTT, Charles Bob Sample, is here with me on set. Good morning.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be here, and you're with great company. Erwin Williams, I don't know if we have any relation. We're trying to work it out there just now, but we're not too sure. We'll find out. But Erwin, great to see you. You are head of software development.
Yes.
And in that regard, let me probably just start with Erwin. I'll come back to you, Charles. Walk me through the kind of work that went on the back end to bring this live. Because I'm sure as you and a whole team would have brought this forward.
Well, I'll actually start with that. It really is a pretty big team in iGovTT that worked together to bring this together, largely because for us it was an evolution. Our ministry has really driven home the point that we are on a track of digital evolution. And so iGovTT provided a chatbot service for many years via TT Connect. It still does really for a number of ministries, departments, agencies. And so that means you go to one of those websites, there's a little chatbot on the bottom right pop-up, but that is very, very human-oriented. It's limited in terms of the number of options you have, and it could direct you to an agent immediately.
Yeah, well, I saw that on the news last evening when they were asking questions, and he was getting the information as to what's required if you want to get a passport and that kind of stuff. But Charles, the name itself, Anansi, it's always good to coin a name and to give it a personality, as it were. Who came up with the name, Charles, and what is Anansi? I mean, such a iconic name from our folklore.
Yeah, the name was actually determined by our minister himself in a meeting. So the Anansi is really to give recognition to a character that we know from our cultural heritage, a character who embodies, from the stories, all the wisdom and using ingenuity and the wisdom that he has, able to solve complex problems. And so in the digital world now, Anansi, the new government national digital assistant, is meant to assist the citizens in traversing the complex web of information of government services that we have available online.
And this is a 24/7 product.
24/7.
So in essence, those looking on, especially for our senior supporters of the program, who, and again, many are up to the time with the technology. We can't assume that they don't know what's happening. Many are very, very able on the smartphones. You're going in and you're asking Anansi a question, and you're going to get in real time a response as to what's required for a particular service. Yes.
Correct.
So 24/7, as you mentioned, and is a single trusted point from which the citizens could get information. And where it does JW, you mentioned any information. So it doesn't require the citizen to understand the structure of government. So from one location, a trusted source, I could ask information, as an example, what grants can I access? Now, grants are not dedicated to one ministry in particular, but cross several ministries, agencies, and divisions. And so from one single point, Owen would have shared the chat bot, and those are one-to-one relationships. This bot will give you information about this ministry. Anansi will traverse the entire ecosystem and provide you with a response accordingly.
So I would imagine, and I'll probably bring Owen in, that is what separates Anansi from, let's say, you're going to Google and just do an advanced search.
Yes,
basically.
Certainly. And I like that I'm going to come back to the question you asked about different kinds of people, different experiences coming to a service like this. When you bring your experiences, typically, for some of these services that existed before, advanced search, for example.
Because you could have gone Google and search.
You had to be very aware. You had to know a lot to ask the question properly. Whereas with Anansi, you come as you are. You ask in whatever form you're comfortable with. Some persons may ask a full paragraph. I am new to I'm going to get my first adult passport. What should I do? Another person might just say, how to get a passport, or I want a passport. And how we, in our parlance, how we talk. And what Anansi is meant to do is help pause, figure out that question, and take it to truth.
What happens if Anansi can't answer a question? Like somebody can't frame it correct, and like, is there ever a moment where Anansi will not be able to bring an answer?
I'm sure about that. Now, Anansi, the solution is a combination of both AI and what we term as HI. So artificial intelligence, human intelligence. And if for some reason you were to ask Anansi a question, and after 2 attempts they can't answer, it transfers to a human agent who will then assist accordingly. If possibly the human agent doesn't have the answer, because we don't have the details perhaps from the ministry, they will get that information. We identify the information gap. We update Anansi accordingly. So all of us continue to teach Anansi as well.
Okay, interesting. Let me bring Owen in, head of software. We know we are definitely in a time of cybersecurity concerns. What's the privacy level like? Is it that, when I'm talking to Anansi, it's a private conversation?
So, 2 ways to answer that question. First off, when you start, we do ask you, what's your name, what's your email address? That's actually to connect you back to a live agent later on. But beyond that, your conversation is secure. It's between you and iGovTT. We use modern, regular security mechanisms to ensure that you can't snoop on it. But more than that, I like how you mentioned cybersecurity. iGovTT actually had a cyber drill, a national cyber drill, just a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, so that,
driven by our head of security, Nigel Niwalo Singh. And the thing that we recognize is we all need to be cyber aware, concerned for cybersecurity. So Anansi doesn't forget that. It doesn't run afoul of those mechanisms. Instead, we use best-in-class mechanisms to secure the conversation, to ensure the information is shared between you and us.
So no, yesterday would have been the launch?
Yes.
So Anansi is live right now?
Live right now.
How can we access it? Where do we go? How can someone start to talk to Anansi today?
Yeah, so you go to ttconnect.gov.tt, Anansi is there. You can direct your site to anansi.tt or anansi.gov.tt. And please, we encourage everyone, please utilize it. Because what it does, it also gives us information, and we continue to educate and teach Anansi. Yeah.
I would imagine, when being in your sector, a project like this, of this magnitude, that's going to bring a serious change on the national populace. It must be an exciting time. It must be a sense of joy to work on something of such a magnitude and scale.
Yes, certainly. I mean, you mentioned Google a while ago. People are familiar with Google and doing cool things with Google. Yes. Our ability to build the cool thing, very exciting. I mean, people were oh, we're doing this now? We're doing the thing we saw announced last week inside iGovTT. Yeah, man, we're building things that are relevant and related to technology usage today.
Well, let me bring our Deputy CEO back in, because Anansi is here. The rollout is official. Anansi is live. But when we consider the whole concept of digitizing the public service, the sector, any exciting news? What else? If it could reveal what else is in the pipeline that we could look forward to in the weeks and probably months ahead?
Sure. So the intention is to continue to build on Anansi. So right now is that mostly information. So you go there to get information. Owen and the team already working on how do we move Anansi to execution and implementation. In other words, Anansi, please book an appointment for me And Anansi will be like, sure, no problem. Who would you like to book the appointment with? Ministry of Works. And we'll give you options with times. So we want to continue to move the needle, and we'll progressively elaborate the solution, or what Owen and the team will term agile development, and continue to scale Anansi accordingly.
Yeah, and that's exciting news. Owen, I mean, obviously, I just mentioned so many look at the program, and I mean, my mom, she is a retiree and very versed with the phone. Right. Many other retirees also, but just generally from your observation, from you being on the ground, is the nation moving with the times? Are we ready for this kind of change, this overhaul that might take place in the years ahead?
I mean, I heard our CEO, Dr. Mejan, quote a stat yesterday that we are 125% in terms of mobile penetration. Trinidad has been moving with digital for a long time. Great. I think what the government is doing is jumping in to demonstrate that we are right there with you. Whatever the latest technology is, we are looking for ways to introduce that into your landscape and ensure you benefit from it. There are dangers to that, of course. New technology typically comes with some learnings that could be critical. So our orientation is very agile. We understand, we change, we evolve.
Hey, Charles. I just want to add as well, so a safeguard, a safety net, is the fact that our TT Connect centers remain available. So all of the mechanism through which a citizen can interact still applies.
The original formula.
Original formula is still there. So you can call 800 TTCN, you could walk into one of our 7 TT Connect centers and transact business accordingly as well.
Just adding a next dimension, really, to the system.
Yes.
Next layer. Well, great stuff. Exciting news. Feel free, any new developments, you're always welcome to share with us on the program. Yes,
Thanks very much.
Happy to be here. Thanks, man.
Yeah, definitely. Charles and Owen touching base. Anansi, that's the name. It's live, and you could go on there, ask your questions, talk to Anansi. It's private, and you'll get an immediate response, and it's 24/7. Great stuff. Let's get ready for the pause. We come back, do a little housekeeping before the 7 a.m. news update. See you soon.
Is blurry vision holding you back from living your best life? Step into TEH Optical today and experience the clarity you deserve. We don't just test your vision. Our advanced technology checks your complete eye health. And with our expert team of eye specialists, we detect issues early, provide tailored treatments, and help protect your vision. Then, get your stylish frames and custom lenses so you can look as sharp as your new vision. TEH Optical, preserving sight, enhancing lives.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2 Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deba Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
turn to do the housekeeping. Let's check in with Jean-Marc before we head to the 7 a.m. news update. Of course, Jean-Marc is giving us our world weather wrap. Jean-Marc, good morning.
Good morning. In today's weather wrap, we head over to the United States, where CNN has reported that the National Weather Service is reversing course, now in the process to rehire hundreds of its workers following massive cuts and a federal hiring freeze. The NWS will hire 450 meteorologists, hydrologists, and radar technicians. An official with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says that the rehires will include 126 new positions that were previously approved and funded. Those jobs are labeled as frontline mission critical to the agency. Staff reductions were first carried out earlier this year by the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency. More than 500 weather employees were let go or forced into retirement by the Trump administration. Certainly some good news for the U.S. as the region heads into the peak of the hurricane season. Meanwhile, in France, firefighters are on standby in Narbonne as concern mounts over rising fire risk in the southern regions. Reports indicate that the area has been placed on red alert by Météo France, the highest warning level for forest fires amid worsening drought conditions. Reports also indicate that temperatures are expected to reach the upper 30s by the end of this week. Now let's take a look at our local forecast for today, where we can expect 1 or 2 showers during the morning, favoring Tobago and eastern areas of Trinidad. But by the late morning into the early afternoon, we can expect a few thunderstorms to develop, and that's expected to continue well into the evening. Showers are also expected to linger overnight as well. Now, the ITCZ is in the area, and we can expect the relatively wet conditions to continue for the remainder of the week and into the weekend. That's all for today's weather wrap. Back to you.
A sincere thanks to you, Jean-Marc. Let's check in with the 7 a.m. news update. See you after 7.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Beachy with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara says there's been a significant decline in the country's murder rate for the year so far. He notes that the current state of emergency, while not aimed at violent crime, is still helping to reduce it. However, a former national security minister is cautioning the top cop against being distracted by numbers. Between January 1st and August 4th this year, police recorded 231 murders. Guevara says while the latest state of emergency was not meant to target homicides, the increased police presence and operations on the ground appeared to be having a positive impact on violent crime. Meanwhile, criminologist Dr. Randy Sipasad says he wasn't surprised by the decline in homicides. As he praised the Commissioner's current anti-crime plans, Dr. Sipasad emphasized the need for long-term preventative strategies.
While suppression is an important aspect of crime fighting, you do need to have the preventative aspects that really stop crime from happening in the first place.
With Lara Main couple Samuel Montano and Zahida Mohammed still missing, a hunter search and rescue team wants fishermen to remain vigilant. Captain Valence Rambarat says his group sent a memo to 2 fishing associations operating in the Gulf of Paria, asking them to be on the lookout for clues that may assist locating them. On Monday, Coast Guard divers combed the waters near their home for them. They were discovered missing Sunday by a relative. She contacted the police after seeing a trail of blood leading from the house to the shoreline. Inside the house, police found 23 spent shell casings, 7 with TTPS markings. Inside the home, Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara says a forensic analysis will need to be conducted to determine whether the ammunition was actually from police stock. A frustrated pensioner is pleading with authorities to urgently clean up an abandoned housing development corporation lot next to her San Fernando home because she considers it a serious health hazard and threat to her safety. 67-year-old Cheryl Clark-Williams of Goldstone Crescent says the land has been neglected for over 20 years. It is now overrun with bush, snakes, rats and other pests. Clark-Williams, who is retired and on a fixed pension, says she has health complications and simply can't afford to keep maintaining land that doesn't belong to her.
Now I'm retired. Money is limited with my pension, and I can't afford to be only cleaning here. My companion, he has to be always jumping over the fence and going and cutting the grass. It has snake. I just see one up to last week right there. Snake coming over. Manikou living there. Goannas living there, rats living there, everything living over there. And I constantly have to be spending money, and there's a mosquito invasion here. They would come and spray from time to time, but the mosquitoes don't go anywhere.
Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update for you at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
There's something here for everyone, from baby to adult. Anything you need, it is right here at Food Basket Super 99.
Food Basket Super 99, affordable and trendy. Food Basket Super 99 Arima, where fashion meets affordability.
So I hear Better Homes has the best kitchens.
You heard right. We have Shaker style, modern Euro, and hardwood.
I like this one. Can I test it right here, right now?
Sure, but how are you going to do that?
All right, you all, come inside. Are you ready?
Time's alive! Oh, a spice rack.
Soft closed door hinges. Oh, this countertop's nice, well.
It's hot, So, what do you think?
Well, this 100%. Is it. I'll take it.
Build the kitchen you love for less at Better Homes, Caroni or French Street.
Did you know that many girls still lack access to period products and miss up to a year of school? Together we can spread the word and change that reality. For every pack of Always you purchase, we donate a pad to girls in need. Help us empower the next generation to rise, learn, and be the best expression of herself at her full potential. Always.
Welcome to ABC Doors and Windows, TNT's #1 destination for the best quality and widest variety of doors and windows. Enhance your space with our premium wooden, steel panels, fiberglass, and steel security doors, complemented by our aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows. Shop for the best quality and service at ABC Doors and Windows. Visit our impressive showroom at 1 Chancatrace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to get started. Trust ABC for a better choice.
5 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Let's open up the lines. Open forum time, 624-8721 and 627-8658. A chance to touch base. We just heard from the iGov TT team. Anansi, a new platform, rolled out yesterday. It's live. You could go ask questions. You're getting in real time a response. That is, to me, a good look. Here's hoping that they continue with their digital push. And I would love one day for us to enter the country and not have to fill out any forms. I know obviously that's going to be different agencies having to come together. National security, I would imagine. You'll have to get Ministry of Finance involved, well, public admin, clearly. Probably even foreign affairs, I don't know. Multiple layers to make that happen. But for the life of me, having to sit on a plane coming home from one of our Caribbean neighbors or even further north in the US and pulling out your pen and having to fill out this paper, I find it kind of old school, kind of basic. But again, you know, the officers, customs, immigration, they work with it. And speaking about who's the first line of defense you meet? That is immigration, right? Good morning to the immigration staff. Always courteous, really nice people there. Came through over the weekend and dealt with me the utmost respect, man. So as always, you know, kudos to them and continue the great work. Let's set to Faizabad. This is not Pfizer though. This is just another caller from Faizabad. Good morning, Faizabad.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. I have an issue and a concern regarding this mass hiring of teachers for tech work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in 1972, we had a problem whereby Orton, Dr. Eric Williams, built all these schools. We had no teachers for it, no trained teachers. And what they did is they went out in the public and they got a whole set of people who could do skill, but no teaching ability. Mm. And that program fell apart for many years because I'm a former principal in the government system, so I know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm seeing now is that you have this mass advertisement I saw yesterday. We hired all of these tech work teachers in them. But what they're asking for is assistant teachers. Now, many of these areas do not have any teachers to start with. So if you are hiring an assistant teacher, who is that a teacher assisting? There is no permanent teacher in the system. Right? To start with, these areas require public service employees, firstly, by workshop attendants. In many of these areas, especially in the school that I worked in, there were no workshop attendants in many of these areas, and they are supposed to have workshop attendants because they are the ones who will put out all the tools, see about all the equipment, and ensure that before the students come, everything is laid out for them, and they'll monitor and check everything. So you do not have any of those to start with. That is one problem. You are hiring assistant teachers to assist who? When there are no teachers in the area. For instance, the school I worked at, you have no woodwork teachers. You have no woodwork teachers. You have no cabinet teachers. The whole area is shut down. So you are coming now to hire an assistant teacher. Assistant teacher is not allowed to go in a classroom with students without a teacher being present.
Understood. Are you retired, or you're still in the system, or you're retired?
I just recently retired.
Okay. Well, thanks for the service, man, and thanks for the observation. And keep us in the loop. Keep monitoring the story, and let's keep that conversation going. I want to thank you, caller from Faizabad. Is this Santa Cruz?
Yeah, this is Santa Cruz. Yes, now I realize I was keeping my out and thing, but Mr. Santa Cruz still here, and I will survive.
And I know I told them it's Mr. Santa Cruz. Some people thought you're a lady. I told them, no, it's Mr. Santa Cruz.
It's Mr. Santa Cruz, but sometimes it does sound like if I'm coming across something different, no, but it's Mr. Santa Cruz.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
A hardback man from Santa Cruz. Go ahead, Santa Cruz, I'm listening.
Yeah, my concern right now in Trinidad and Tobago, the whole question of cost of living. And the cost of living is going up constantly all the time because I visit the market often, especially the summer market, whether Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. And when you have to be paying $20 a pound, $25 a pound for tomatoes and sweet pepper and cabbage is 10 and melange is 15.
Don't talk for limes on the cruise. How much for a lime now? Is about $1?
Well, lime is $5 for one.
$5?
And the challenge we face is now, more than ever, is the whole question of Mr. Donald Trump with the increase of 15% tariff on goods leaving here. It means to say what Mr. Donald Trump, because I listen to the economists and them, and I don't think they have it correct, I am not an economist. I'm just a Santa Cruz homeboy. But what Donald Trump is doing is boxing in the Caribbean countries and African countries in terms of using the tariff to stifle them. At the end of the day, he builds America stronger because that is what he intends to do. Builds America stronger. White countries like ours end up suffering. Yeah, and white country like ours end up suffering. So you have to go begging. You have to go begging to the United States of America. And that $15,000, why he point out X and Y country and they say it doesn't affect us. It's coming for us because there is a list of Caribbean countries sooner or later will be banned from the U.S. And the pretense that the UNC had made with Kamala when she was talking about ban Rowley and ban Trinidad because we're dealing with Maduro, it's now coming back to haunt them because sooner or later they'll recognize that Donald Trump is no friend to the UNC. That he was more a friend to Rowley and them. You understand me? And we intend, and we are in for hard times. Unless we face up to that. And the economists and them who talk about go Africa. I had the privilege of meeting with the ACP countries in 1986 in Brussels. And the African, Caribbean, Pacific, remember, exists years. And the only trade we had was 29% in all these years. They deal with America. And if you align yourself with any country that Donald Trump disagree with, he will ban you and put more pressure on you.
Well,
look at what happened with Moody and them and the issue with Russia and all this different kind of thing. So we need to be careful who we deal with, because Donald Trump is determining who you deal with or you put in pressure on. All the vex, they say the vex with Venezuela, 15% just like us.
Well, all right, Santa Cruz, I hear you, but I don't think, Donald Trump, I think, is a friend to no one. I don't think he leans towards any particular administration. And I'll tell you this tariff and all that's happening right now gives us the perfect opportunity to look within, look at our regional neighbors, and look at new markets. I think we always focus on North America. What about our friends south of the border? Just a little me thinking out loud there. But Santa Cruz, as always, sincere thanks. Let's head to Tobago. We're going to do Tobago Talks just now, but I'm happy to have a Tobago caller on the line. Tobago, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for adding me now. I'm a first-time caller.
Thank you so much.
And
great to have you.
I am also a retired educator.
Yes.
And I'm calling in response to the previous caller.
Yes, from Faizabad.
Just to add some clarity. When he spoke about the advertisements that they issued, and we saw it yesterday, I saw it yesterday as well, for the technical vocational teachers. I suspect, and I could be wrong with all respect to my colleague, I could be wrong, but I suspect that he's thinking more along the lines of the lab assistants and the school farm assistants. These persons definitely need to work along with a senior teacher or more qualified teacher in that field. However, when I saw the advertisements and the way it was laid out, it made me understand that what they're looking for was akin to the assistant teachers that they normally would hire, persons who may not yet have a degree. So when I began to teach, I went into the education system with my A-level qualifications, and I was an assistant teacher 3 at the secondary level. After I got my university qualifications, I was promoted to a teacher 3. And I suspect what they're looking for is persons who have the skills, who can start and then maybe encouraged to go on to get further training so that they can be upgraded, because there is a need for this type of skills training across the board in our education system. And when I saw the advertisement, that was my understanding of who they're trying to recruit. So I just wanted to add that, to add some balance and clarity to what it is I believe the ministry is looking for.
And I want to, of course...
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, you're welcome. Thanks for contributing. And as she mentioned, she came in as an assistant teacher and made it all the way to principal. So that was a beautiful career, upward movement at all times. Let's take in probably one more, and then we get ready for Tobago Talks. A matter of fact, for Tobago Talks this morning, we're getting a chance to touch base with Senior Superintendent Earl Eli, head of the Tobago Division. And we're treating with the SOE in Tobago and the crime fighting initiatives. So it's going to be very Tobago-centric and Tobago-focused after this call from Mova. Good morning, Mova.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Grass cutting is not a sin, right? And I want to say, did they do any research to find out how many people were once grass cutters are now CPEP managers or workers, right? You have to do the research, find out, because that is movement. That is movement too, and they hire and they get workers to do the work, right? CPEP is involved in the beautification of the country, and that is the passion, the love to beautify the country. That is a part of national development and tourism and so on. And we should put a 6-month, there should be a 6-month budget in place for these people, right? And they're not supposed to be suffering. If you're looking at the contractors, okay, but have a 6-month budget in place for the CPEP workers, not to be suffering. Some of them in some serious situation, they might lose their home, they might be thrown out for rent, and possibly they may be going back into an abusive situation. This is real, right? And if you take a walk on the streets now and look, you will see the grass taller than paddock. It's tall, so they was working, right? So I'm saying we have to be mindful that the CPEP workers are potential seedlings for greatness in support of TNT becoming great again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Move on. You're welcome, definitely. Let's get Shagonas in. We have another call on the line. Shagonas, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome, welcome.
Two light-hearted things. One is mischievous. Regarding the West Indies cricket team.
Yes.
everybody's saying, well, no matter, we're not losing, I'm a team. But we are fragmented, by the islands. Because I remember years ago, and I wish somebody listening to this could expand on it more, that Forbes Burnham from Guyana, when Clive Lloyd wasn't picked to represent the West Indies, he created a big hullabaloo, wanted to ban the team and ban certain players from entering in Guyana to play a test match. Then Barbados, at one time, 8 Barbadians was on the West Indies team. Now, we fragmented, yes, we are a team, but fragmented like hell. So that is why you find this win, lose, or draw on our West Indies. That kind of a hollow thing, We have to learn to get together, and whether you come from Antigua, Barbuda, Trinidad, Guyana, we have to see it as a team. Now for the mischievous part, your partner, Faizo, and Santa Cruz, like them get their own podcast now. They on your show every single day talking about every single thing under the sun. Oh gosh, give other people a chance to get on and give their opinion now. That's the mischievous part. Thank you.
All right. Well, and you're on now, but we open the lines as open forum, and they're avid contributors. They call in, they give their perspective. Not every day. Look, we didn't hear from Faizo today. We didn't hear from Santa Cruz for a couple of days. Well. All right, and look, we have somebody new from Grandy. So that's what it's all about. It's really, we open the lines, and it's who decides to pick up the phone and give us the call. Let's touch base with Grandy. Good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, JW.
Yes, Grandy, I'm listening.
Yes, man. Now, this stand your ground law, right? I think that is a dangerous law to pass here, because I was reading a story from Jacksonville, where this young man, he was playing his music loud in the gas station, and this white guy, I think the young man name is well, I reading the story, but I kind of forget the name right now. But this white guy told them to load down the music, right? They're taking this stand your ground law outside too. And this man, because he had an argument, and he shut up the SUV and killed the young guy. I think he was about 19 years old, right? So, and I think they have people like that here, right? So I find they should review, because right now America reviewing the stand your ground law, right?
Well, I think on the Trinidad side, it's really, I think it's really, and I hear your concern, but I think what the consultation is really doing is giving people a chance to express themselves, bring up their concerns, and it's more within the context of your home, your dwelling house. People have an argument by a gas station or by a double stand or by the south man because you break a line and a man decided to pull out a gun and shoot. I think you'll end up in problems, because that in itself, that speaks to somebody not in control, and clearly, you must have certain tests before you get a firearm. It's to me, honestly, caller from Grandy, it's one where you get a firearm, you have to humble yourself, Unless somebody really coming at you, I think you have to take the humble pie and keep it pushing, Grandy?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grandy, you go ahead. Put a closing remark in.
Well, basically, I was telling you, I don't want any firearms, right? Right?
Why you don't want it? You don't want to protect it? You don't want to protect your home and stuff, or you just feel like I handle it?
I'm not into any illegal activities, right? And I'm a praying guy, and I don't want to be involved in those kind of have firearms and so on.
Yeah.
My property and so on. Yes.
In all fairness, I know you're not in no illegal activities. You're a praying person, but there are folks who sometimes, good people like yourself, they will still want to target and come and harass. But I understand what you're saying. I guess he understands himself, and he probably know it in his heart. He can't go down that road to take somebody's life, even if they come at him. Let's take another call here from Sawa. We are from Grandy now to Sawa. Sawa, morning.
Morning. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Jason, I have a Hello?
Yes, man. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jason.
Yes.
I have a problem with the CPEP workers. The biggest problem is, Jason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, go ahead.
The contractor who work in and the workers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go right ahead. You see, you're listening to the TV. Go right ahead. I hear you loud and clear now. Go right ahead.
Oh, right. So what I'm saying, the workers, the CPEP workers, who they say don't do anything, Jason. CPEP workers, there's work from 7 to 12:30, sometimes to 1 o'clock. Their salary is $140 a day. Right? $140 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Corporation working for $275 a day. CPEP workers will work for the 6 hours straight, and then the corporation workers will come and measure the work the CPEP workers do and write it in. I have friends, I have family who work in with the corporation, and that is the biggest problem. They're crying down CPEP, they're crying down CPEP. CPEP workers suffering to the max right now. They have nothing to eat, nothing. Plenty of them come and ask me to assist. I just plant garden. So I just see whatever I could do, I will give it to them. But this country in a mess. And I really think this government is suffering the poor people and elevating the millionaires and the billionaires in this country. Something has to be done, and something has to be done now. At least they could have given these workers and them a 6-month salary so that they could carry on their life until something better could come along, Jason. I think it's heartening. It's really heartening to see what is going on with these workers. And look at the condition of the country. CPEP does a fantastic job. They really take care of this place. Corporation does nothing compared to CPEP workers, Jason. I think somebody should come out and we will have a big protest sooner or later if this continue. We need help. Thank you so much, Jason.
You're welcome, caller. And again, just another voice lending to the chorus of concern in the country regarding CPEP. I mean, you could just look around, just physically look around. We saw what's taking place in Diego Martin. You know, look at your community. If they used to maintain a certain plot, a certain area, a lot of places now overgrown, and chances are it's going to get even worse if indeed this is a 6-month break or hiatus, as it were, while they do the audit. We hope and pray that they're going to bring it back in a, as the government mentioned, sustainable and structured way, but I hope they're able to do that soon. Let's take the pause. We come back and we touch base with the outgoing ambassador, the European Union ambassador to TNT, His Excellency Peter Cavendish. He joins me next to say farewell. See you soon.
Established in 1984, Telecom Security Services is the best in cash in transit with our armored vehicles with impeccable record. Featuring 24 hour surveillance to protect our clients' valuables. This is asset security that's equipped and efficient. From a modern head office, we deliver quality and trust, mitigating risk. Operational excellence with highly trained and dedicated staff. The best, cost-driven security solution. Telecom Security Services.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
Struggling with heart health or frequent migraines? Discover the simple steps to reclaim your energy and vitality.
We're diving into a topic that affects about 422 million people around the world.
diabetes.
Tune into Wellness Unlocked, the series that delivers expert advice, practical tips, and inspiring stories to help you take control of your health and well-being. Your health matters. Don't miss Wellness Unlocked. Watch now on CNC3 and take the first step toward better health.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
I was looking at, I think it was the papers or somewhere, I believe, probably on social media. I saw the farewell, a big farewell function, and all the different speeches and the celebration really of his tenure. And I want to obviously, on behalf of all of us here at Guardian Media and the Morning Brew, bid a farewell and say thank you for your service, Your Excellency Peter Cavendish, European Union Ambassador to TNT. You're leaving the island soon, and I'm sure you'll be missed by your staff and all that you would have interacted with over your time and tenure here. Great to see you.
Indeed. In fact, I think the word is what, Trabanka?
Trabanka, you know it.
My heart's almost broken, honestly.
Trabanka for the food, the people, I could only imagine.
The music, the climate, everything. In fact, I'm Trabanka, but I've booked a ticket back in May because I like the place, love the place so much I have to come back, so I'm coming back. But I've had a fantastic time, and I'm ending my career in the 50th year of diplomatic relations between Trinidad and Tobago and the European Union. I think it's been 50 years of fantastic progression. We have probably the largest balance of trade surplus for your countries with the European Union, not the largest volume of trade, but the largest surplus, 33.5 billion TT, I think, last year, because you're a very important supplier to us of ammonia and other fossil fuel-related products. But that's the trade side. We wish to trade more. We're energy insecure. We're food insecure. Your country has a lot to offer. We have what's called Fit for Market. We're trying to bring Trini companies to Europe. We've co-lead to try and help agricultural suppliers. We have no duties. We've no tariffs, which is against the fashion perhaps at the moment. I won't go too far and say who's fashionable on that one. But we don't believe in tariffs and duties. We think it causes distortions to trade. And of course, anybody who's a Trinbagonian citizen with a valid passport under the Schengen Agreement can go to Europe and stay for 90 days in any 180-day period. So really, I wish to encourage all you Trinis. You have a huge surplus with Europe. Go over there, spend your money, get the surplus down a bit, and bring some of your Trini chocolate with you when you go to Europe. So.
Definitely, and many Trinis do take up on that offer. They are out there right now doing the July-August vacation experience there, trotting through all of Europe. But let me ask, in an ever-changing and ever sometimes volatile geopolitical climate, and we see what's happening, where do you see our relations? Basically, you're saying to us that the relations are indeed good, and you believe that from your vantage point, through your lens, it will continue to grow in the years to come?
This country is a bastion of democracy. You have a free press, a free media. We've seen elections which were contested, and there's been handover in the democratic norms. Your country has managed the 78th General Assembly of the United Nations, a huge achievement. And your country may be with the non-permanent seat on the Security Council for 27 to 28. This country is a bastion of democracy, as I have said. This is a country that respects territorial integrity of other nations. When we had the unfortunate evil Russian attack on the Ukraine, this country spoke out loud and clear. This country is there for the evolution in the international financial systems. This country is very much a vocal, strong moral voice in international affairs for what is right and what is wrong. And we're very pleased to have our partnership. Further, within CARICOM, you're a leader on security and energy, and that is, 14 votes in the UN, let's be frank, it's 14 votes in the UN, and your country has a commanding leadership voice in areas such as security and energy, which are two of the three key pillars for us, the other being digitalization for this region. So the position of your government, the placing of its positions, its very long track record, we're extremely pleased with our relations here. And we wish to do more.
Indeed, and I know the work will continue post your departure. I know you go until the end of August, and then we welcome a new ambassador.
Yes.
Do we know who that person is?
Well, I can't say it on air, but we have told the government, and we're waiting for the government to give its agrément, as it's called. It's a French term which means agreement, and then there has to be accreditation. But yes, I'll be replaced by another senior diplomat from the 1st, 2nd of September, thereabouts.
Indeed, but at least there is going to be that transition. There is at least somebody. We can't, I guess, disclose the name, but there is someone already in the cards. I would imagine.
Somebody has already been selected and proposed to the government, and we were waiting for them to. This is quite normal when you have what's called the agrément, a French term, agreement phase. And yes, our relations with this country will continue. We have an economic partnership agreement with this country. I'm very pleased in other areas, such as, we've had the Erasmus, an exchange of students. More than 100 Trinbagonian citizens have come to Europe to study. We wish to keep these types of exchanges going as well.
Are those the objectives you just mentioned, the key achievements? That what I would imagine warms your heart. It gives you a sense of, yes, I came, I did my duty, and I was able to make a mark.
Well, entirely due to the excellent cooperation with the administrations here, because we've done, for example, the solar panel park at the airport. 4% of Piarca Airport's electricity is now green electricity. It's one of the biggest projects. Brecon Castle now being completed is slightly larger, or a bit larger. We've had also putting in photovoltaic parks around the country to help green them, the Boundary Main Ridge Reserve, turtle centres, other places. So in terms of exchanges of technical know-how, we've been very pleased with that. We're funding wind studies because your country seems to have a very good supply of wind. The issue there is to transform that into a product that can be exported to Europe. But wind studies, this country has the potential to be a green hydrogen hub here in the Caribbean. We have to see the technologies are shifting on all of these things, but I feel technology more and more favors small countries. I'm Irish, I'm from a small country too. If you think about the transfer of know-how, the transfer of technical software programs, all of these things are in the favor of small countries. And here we have an enormously rich and talented people. Things like the commercialization of the music industry will be helped by technology. The European Union has given a grant to Soundbridge. We're working at Mashel, Montana. We want young Trini artists to be able to commercialize their talent and not to get ripped off, frankly. So in a great many areas, across a spectrum of industries, activities and services, there's a lot of collaboration ongoing, which I hope will contribute to economic growth.
As businesses continue to scale and they look towards new markets, already established markets, you look at Europe, yes, we know the energy sector would have made inroads in that regard, manufacturing, but where else? I mean, I know you not mentioned music, that gets me pretty excited. For those looking on and they think of Europe, what's a good way or a good place, or where can they start to get that particular ball rolling?
Well, we have we have the Caribbean Chamber of Commerce to Europe, and I would encourage businesses that have not reached out. This is run by Caribbean folk. It's based in Brussels in Belgium.
Okay.
We have, of course, the European Chamber of Commerce here. I would really encourage business people here to think more about visiting trade fairs in Europe. I know there's a lot that's done virtually, but I think there's nothing beats people-to-people contacts. So I really would encourage people, I would encourage your mayors to go to European cities to raise the awareness of the cultural richness that is here. But there's a lot of things taking place that are not immediately obvious. This country is English speaking, which is the language of business. There's people here in this country who are making these figures in these games that people do online. I'm sorry, I'm showing my age now, but you have these online games, and I might have been angry with my son when he was 12 or 13 upstairs tapping away on these games, but that's big business. And there's Trini people supplying many thousands of hours of programming into these games, but they don't get any credit for it because it's commercially secret. So this type of technological export, Trinis are talented. There's lots of engineers here in this country. These people are out there networking. We would encourage more networking. What food you'll miss the most when you depart? Well, I'd be lying if I didn't say doubles, of course. I mean, if you don't like doubles, there's something wrong with you. It's a vegan success story all by itself. We have I cannot think of an equivalent to doubles that we have anywhere in Europe. It's a fantastic product. I think they have in London, but I don't think it's the same. Yes, well, it's not the same. Yes, also to get roti in London, yes, it's not the same. It's not the same. No, but and when you go to Piarco, you can have doubles before you go, and doubles when you come back to any airport in the world where you get that. Yeah. So no, doubles is fantastic, but in general, the way in which the spices, the foods are brought together here, it's very sophisticated, and I'm very pleased. We've had companies like Handmade by Jeanette, Trini entrepreneurs going to Europe, and I think these products will do very well.
During your tenure, where other parts of the world you would have served?
Well, for my particular profile, I've had a lot of postings in this of short-term duration. I've been to 101 countries because I worked in humanitarian aid. And from that 101 sample, I would say this country, together with some other island nations, such as Sri Lanka, such as Jamaica, such as Madagascar, there's something special about islands. So this is a fantastic island. It's like nowhere else. I'm stunned by the way in which people are so creative with language, with music, with arts, with food, with design. Really, you know, I don't really like the word cornucopia, but it is a cornucopia of delights. I can't think of any other equivalent term that encompasses the depth and the breadth of the talents we have here.
Your Excellency, as we wrap things up, I'll give you a chance to say farewell to Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Tobago doesn't really express how I feel. I mean, this country, it gets to you like nowhere else, and really, it's the people that make the difference. God bless you all.
Your Excellency,
thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Indeed. As we look to, of course, bid the ambassador farewell, we look forward to whoever will take up the role. We will find out in September, and I'm sure we'll have them on the program to do their welcome and hello and introduce themselves to the population. With that being said, we take a pause and we come back with more. See you soon.
Some nights call for more than just a slice. At Rizzoni's, we serve pizza the way it was meant to be. Brick-fired, bold, and brought out fresh, again and again. This is all you can eat, Rizzoni style, where the pizzas come to you. Crisp crusts, rich sauce, melty cheese, every round with new toppings, new flavors, and no limit. Every Friday from 4 p.m. Join us at Movie Town, Fiesta Plaza, Port of Spain, or C3 Movie Town, San Fernando. So go ahead, stay for that next slice. We'll keep them coming.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
So I hear Beta Homes has the best kitchens.
You heard right. We have Shaker style, modern Euro, and hardwood.
I like this one. Can I test it right here, right now?
Sure, but how are you gonna do that?
All right, you all, come inside. Are you ready?
Time's alive!
Oh, a spice rack.
Soft closed door hinges. Oh, this countertop's nice, well.
It's hot, you know.
So, what do you think?
Well,
this 100%.
I'll take it.
Build the kitchen you love for less at Beta Homes, Caroni or French Street.
Food Basket. Food Basket, nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. For everyday low price, things real nice. Come in once, but to come back twice. Wholesale, retail, everything for you. A real much you wanna shop, flare, go view. Food Basket, the nation's #1 supermarket, bakery, restaurant, meat market, fresh producers, everything fantastic. Food Basket, Marketplace Shogunas, where shopping is a pleasure and the price is right.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Welcome back as we continue. Let's get into some housekeeping. Of course, ways to connect with me. Just make the request, really simple. Nice little paragraph. He's going to send it to our producer. And that's the email address. I want you to take a note. Write it down, tmb@cnc3.co.tt. Send it and I'll see you soon. You can join me on the couch or on the Zoom line. You're welcome. That's right, you're welcome. Let's move now to the social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, and X. I'll stay on top of lots of the news. especially on the Instagram feed, are very active. Well, let me tell you, sometimes the comments sharp. People tend to say what they want this wrongs by. I won't lie. You just have to really, it's hard to be brave sometimes to go inside there, but nonetheless, it is what it is. People getting a chance to express themselves, to give their perspective, but we do our vetting process before we put up any of our stories. So look out for all breaking news via the social media. Another option is via the mobile app. I want you to get this today on your smartphone, your number one source for verified breaking news. All your content there on demand via the CNC3 mobile app. So good luck. Get it today. What about the Guardian? The Trinidad and Tobago Guardian? You look and feel. We want you to catch your subscription so you can enjoy Guardian on your phone, your tablet, your laptop. It's right there. You know, we are in the digital age, technological times. So stay on top of it. Visit guardian.co.tt to get your subscription today. Let's head to the Food for Thought segment. We call this segment Something to Think About. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone, and that's why, I guess, calculated risk. You can't just dive in to something that you don't know, even though some do it, and I would have done it in the past too, but nonetheless. You have to be brave, and you know, sometimes you go with your heart, you go with that particular desire, you go with your passion. Yes, might not always be a win every time. There are lessons inside there, might get a little shake up, but you come out stronger, you come out with that sense of resilience, and you're able to enjoy this life, this life that we're living. You know, you get a chance to live and come out of that comfort zone and find your way and find yourself sometimes with these experiences. So well done, beautiful quote. We take a pause, we get ready. Again, we're standing by, we're trying to connect with the top cup there in Tobago, Eli, just to get some perspective. And speaking about Tobago, later on, once we get through on the Zoom line, we have a great activation happening in Tobago. I saw the Chief Secretary making mention of this over the weekend on social media. It's a Dodds Diving League. Apparently they're putting a big platform somewhere down Charlottesville by the jetty. And top divers from across the world. This is a big global something. Going to dive off into the water. I'm sure it's going to pull lots of crowd. It's going to be a spectacle in Tobago. So look out for that. It's actually happening on Saturday at Charlottesville. So we get some details regarding that, and hopefully we get onto the top cup there in Tobago. So we'll keep it within the Tobago space from now up until 8 o'clock once they're able to make it on the Zoom line. See you soon.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
The detergent smells nice while washing, but when you use the new Downy Intense fabric softener, with its new multi-capsule fragrance, it releases an intense scent that lasts twice as long. With the new Downy Intense, you'll enjoy a rich and delightful fragrance that keeps you feeling fresh 24/7.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
Welcome to ABC Doors and Windows, TNT's #1 destination for the best quality and widest variety of doors and windows. Enhance your space with our premium wooden, steel panels, fiberglass, and steel security doors, complemented by our aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows. Shop for the best quality and service at ABC Doors and Windows. Visit our impressive showroom at 1 Chancatrace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to get started. Trust ABC for a better choice.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business, and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home, and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry, premier insurance coverage for less.
Get the best in affordable eyewear. Frames with blue filter lenses and eye exam, $399. Single vision lenses with transitions on designer frames, $799. Progressive transitions with designer frames, $1,399. Happening only at Seaview Optical. Affordable eye care for everyone.
Shop Southern Food Basket anniversary specials now. Carrots, 3 packs for $19.95. Lentils, 2 pounds, 1 for $13.95. Creamery ice cream assorted, 1 gallon, 2 for $90. Bright Wash laundry detergent powder assorted, 900 grams, 2 for $19.95. Snuggle bathroom tissue, 12 pack, 1 for $19.95. Clorox 1 gallon, 1 for $26.95. With every $300 you spend at any Southern Food Basket, you can qualify to win a brand new Suzuki Grand Vitara. Much more prizes to be won, including Caribbean getaways, staycations, and shopping sprees.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley, with Tetley. Loving the flavors you get with Tetley.
Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Dark, strong British blend to give you a good morning boost. Or Tetley decaf, all of the antioxidants, none of the caffeine. Losing weight or staying healthy your thing? Try Tetley green tea. Get the vitamins to boost your health with Tetley super teas. Or calm down with Tetley chamomile. Wouldn't you just love a cup of Tetley tea right now? Tetley, a tea for everyone.
Loving the flavors you get with Tetley, with Tetley. A tea for everyone. Tetley tea.
Distributed by AMCO, a subsidiary of Ansa McCall. If you missed Season 5 of Spellbound, all episodes will air again on CNC3.
These kids really know how to spell.
KIOSK. APPRENTICE. MARRIAGE.
Spellbound. This spells magic.
Featuring your boy, Kes the Illusionist.
Spellbound. This spells trouble.
On CNC3.
Tune in on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1:10 p.m.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
This is Mary. Mary has bills to pay and takes a chance parking in front of the building at the no parking sign. Mary returns to her car, and this is what happens. Mary decides to call when she's 5 minutes away to let her daughter know that she is close by. But Mary forgot one thing.
Boy, second ticket for the day. I don't know, nah? I really don't know. Well, I tell you.
After 2 tickets, Mary just isn't paying attention to her speed.
You see a fixed penalty noted, fixing speed like 15 kilometers. You have 30 years to pay, 15 years to contest.
It has showed how other people, look how other people passing. Well, they ain't seen them. Well, they seen me, right?
Don't be like Mary. Obey the laws of the road. A message from the TTPS.
Well, let me tell you, when I heard the Chief Secretary talking about this on his social media feed over the weekend, I said, my goodness, Tobago, this is going to be a big deal. All roads lead to Charlottesville. You know, Charlottesville is country, so I hope that you move early to get your best position. Apparently, they're building this platform onto the jetty for these premium divers. So this is not for no amateurs. This is serious business here. And of course, we welcome Paul, who is one of the main men, coordinating the whole scene here. And of course, is this our Assistant Secretary, Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transport? Yes, that's right.
Yes, it is.
Mr. George, great to see you, George. And of course, Paul.
Good morning, Jason.
Listen,
good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Listen to me, Mr. George, and of course, Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning and good morning, Tobago.
That's right, and he's the CEO of the Dot Diving League. When I saw this, I told myself, this is going to be quite an adventure. I've seen it before. I know you all take it to different parts of the world, but I must say, Mr. George, getting this in Tobago, this is a big deal. How you walk me through it? How it happened?
All right. So last year, it would have been the 18th to the 20th of June. We went to a Teams Europe Sports Industry Trade Show. It was a delegation of 6. There we met with different sporting event promoters, tourism management companies, and individual sporting governing bodies. We presented what Tobago had to offer and why Tobago would be the perfect choice for their events to different sports, different ideas. You know, we targeted the non-traditional ones because they would be less expensive to bring to the island. And we were looking for partnerships where we could have these events in our naturally beautiful island, and they would benefit as well from this relationship.
That's right. Let me bring Paul into the conversation, CEO of the Dutch Diving League. This is a world championship. It's attracting, I would imagine, divers from all corners of the globe. Walk me through how long it's been going on and some of the amazing destinations you would have been to already.
Yeah, so first of all, I have to say, what an amazing island. So the House of Assembly have done an amazing job in pulling this together, especially in the beautiful town of Charlottesville. So for us, this is a dream come true, going all the way from the events we had in Europe and back in the US, and now having the big World Championship in Tobago is just amazing. So we love it. So thank you for hosting us as well.
Oh, for sure. Let me bring Mr. George back in. I know they're going to build the platform onto the jetty. Is there gonna be constant, what I imagine, security personnel there? Because you don't want anybody, a villager or somebody, to jump out themselves and feel they could go up and take a dive. This is for professionals.
No, that's not how it's going to happen. So the platform is actually being built to specifications in a warehouse, and then it would be transported up there. But there's been consultation with the community, and we have total buy-in. They are actually, the villagers are the ones that would be cleaning and power washing the jetty because they are so excited to have the event there as well. And what we are presenting isn't only just the venue. We are presenting the warmth of Tobago. We will have cultural shows. So we are exposing them to a Tobago experience as well. So it's sport tourism. It's on a sport tourism thrust. You know, we are using different avenues to market our island. And if we look at the following that does and is developing, it is a strategic move to have them go out to Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, for sure. Let me get Paul in for another soundbite here, because I would imagine some of the top-notch divers from across the world, anybody to look out for, who are some of the key names, the big players on the world stage when it comes to the competition?
Yeah, so first of all, I have to say thank you to the House of Assembly again, and George Leacock and Mr. George and the other parts of the team, because taking this event into the island is crazy. This is one of the fastest growing sports in the world. So the event on Saturday is being broadcasted to over 200 million households. And what we can expect from content production will have more than 30 million views on social media. So this is just like George is saying, it's the new era of sports. And the nice thing about the Dutch Diving League is that with everything that we do from a media production, we integrate the island and everything we produce. So you'll have the most scenic and beautiful backdrop paired with one of the most extreme sports in the world and one of the fastest growing sports in the world. So this will be broadcasted to over 60 countries.
And that's going to be a good look for Tobago. Mr. George, I'll give you a chance to put a final comment in, because Charlottesville is country. It's a scenic drive. I would imagine folks will have to get there early to secure their spot, because everyone and their cousin, I would imagine, will be heading to Charlottesville this weekend. All roads literally lead to Charlottesville this weekend.
So yes, and Paul mentioned Mr. Leacock. I'd like to thank the persons within the division and that were instrumental in having this done, because I mean it's a lot of work in the background. So I'd like to thank our sports tourism coordinator, Mr. Mark London. I'd like to thank the sports consultant with EATCUT, Mr. George Leacock, because they were instrumental in the negotiation phase. But I'm saying to all young persons, it's not just about the main event. There would be side events where they would be teaching young persons who are interested in learning how to dive safely to be involved. So get to Charlottesville, everyone. I mean, my phone has been going off the hook since this event has been announced, and I know it would be a fun day. Just going into Charlottesville generally is a fun event. So I know that all roads will be heading to Charlottesville. Charlottesville will be packed, and as Jason said, get there early, because you know, it will be a blast.
Now, this is going to be huge. Trust me, I could feel it already. Mr. George, thank you so much. Assistant Secretary there, Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transport, and Paul Rigault, CEO of the Dodds Diving League. All the best, guys. It's going to be a tremendous success. Congrats in advance. And with that, we make our exit. It's a pity we didn't get a chance to touch base with senior top cop there in Tobago, Mr. Eli. We'll try to make that happen, I would imagine, probably next week. Until the next time we meet up, my friends, have a great one. Be safe. And God spare. I'm back for more right here on The Morning Brew. Be safe.
The Morning Brew is brought to you by Omega XL. Live long, stay strong.
As an affiliate of CNN International, we now join their current programming.
And then the president blinked on tariffs and the market was off to the races. But I do think that the economic outlook, the landscape, it's darkened a lot, John.
Yeah, look, doesn't mean it will happen, but